Morning, Short It All. Good to see you, man. Morning, Work Diver. Good to see you. Setting alerts on some of the stocks that I actually want to remove from my watch list. Keep them in mind just in case. AMD gave me a rough time yesterday. I'll probably just move that down to the bottom of the watch list. Just kind of keep it on the side there. Boeing is kind of already making. Yeah, can you hear me, Work Diver? Am I coming through? Seems like it's on over here. But let me know if I'm not coming through for some reason. Mic check, mic check. Can you guys hear me? Can everyone hear me? Okay, Sagar can hear. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, cool. All right, great work, Diver. Okay, good. Good deal. Good deal. So, well, before I get into any of this, we'll just let's see. Okay, good. Short it all. Appreciate it. Okay, Chart Stalker has a watch list up there, but I tell you what, guys, here's what I'm looking at today. So SPY is making a retracement, but we've seen this before. We've seen SPY, look like it's, coming down. This is the perfect day right here. You see how there's this long wick on this day? It's because, in pre-market, it was doing the same thing that this is doing. It was coming all the way down here. It had opened here, it was coming down, and this, before this move happened, this looked like a big red candle coming to the downside, if you can just imagine. But through the day, it got bought up and then just supercharged, okay? Went in a very bullish direction. So, what it didn't do on this day is it didn't break any of these levels here. Okay, that would have been the critical breaking sign right there. So, so for me, I'd really like to see a break. When the market opens, I'd like to see a break and a continuation through the 275 level, 275.03 to be exact, and then also a continuation breakdown past 271.41. Those are two very critical levels that I would like to see it break. Otherwise, I'll be looking for divergence. Again, as a short bias trader, if the SPY ends up getting bought up, I will be looking for other stocks that are still tanking regardless. And a couple stocks that have an opportunity to do that are CCL and RCL. I had NCLH up here also, but cruise lines are not doing well. They're just not doing well. And I think that even if SPY is getting a little bit of a pullback, I think these stocks can still end up moving down. So I'm going to be watching for that on these cruise lines, and I'll probably end up moving them more towards the top. We've also got the airlines, United Airlines and Delta, that I don't typically do great on the airlines, but I want to keep them on watch because it's same as all this other stuff. It's forming an interesting pattern on the daily. It's in a tightening range, and if the SPY gets crushed today, I think these will follow suit pretty quickly. I really kind of need to just pick one. So I want to keep both of them though, because I like to watch for divergence, because it could be possible that Delta, if the SPY's going up, Delta starts going up, but then maybe United starts tanking. Okay, and so I do like to see if there's any difference in the movements, but really I am going to end up moving these further down on the list. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to move those airlines right down above, but I am going to move Boeing up, and I'll tell you about that in a second. So move Boeing up more towards the top. And I'm going to move Zoom more towards the top. And I'm going to move CCL up there and RCL. So I think that's the order that I'll keep it in. And I am not watching all the, you can go ahead, like these three down here, Delta all the way down through AMD, I'm not really watching. I'll check on them from time to time depending on what the SPY's doing. And even with JP Morgan, the only reason I don't normally trade bank stocks, but the only reason I've got this on my watch list is it had a massive run up yesterday and then a massive sell off. Okay, and banks aren't doing that great. I mean, this is earnings week, but even Bank of America had some pretty pretty bad news on. Well, it's not good. Let's put it like that. It's not good. Goldman what did it say? Bank of America profits fall because COVID-19 loan losses will rise. Okay, and so that's and they're lagging greatly in their estimates, and so right now you've got a lot more volume on Bank of America, but I can see this especially if SPY continues to move down today, I can see this being a good move down. And the only reason I kept JP Morgan is because really, I think JP Morgan is the leader in all of this. Bank of America is only going to follow suit with what JP Morgan does. And I think JP Morgan can make much bigger moves on a conservative share size. I think I can come in with maybe 200 or 300 shares and get a quick dollar move on JPM. So, and it's also a slow enough mover later on in the morning to where it's one of those stocks where I feel like I could build a position on. So, so there's that. But yeah, mostly what I'm watching today out the gates is I'm going to be watching these cruise lines. Zoom, I might even end up moving down, but there's a pretty critical breaking area here. It's already kind of cracked it in pre-market, but I'd love to see it, crack that 139 when the market opens in regular market hours, and then we can make a move, down to 136, or maybe even, maybe we could even go a little bit lower than that. So I'm looking at least a $3 to $5, maybe $6 move on that, to the downside. And then Boeing right here on the daily, as you guys can see, if any of you guys are watching this. So we've got Boeing right here, and I drew out two trend lines. I started first one here, and it looks as though from this trend line, from this perspective, we've broken that trend line. Okay, and it looks like we can make a very strong move down. But if we redrew it from another point here, because technically we're kind of running up through this pivot point here. I don't know if you guys can see, if this chart's going to allow me to zoom in enough on this to where you guys will get a good look, a good perspective of it. But basically, I'm thinking if I drew it from here and connected it perfectly with this one, where would it come out to? And this is where we could establish a higher low on the daily, as far as the long-term daily chart here, because I've told you guys several times, I think at some point we have to come back down and test some of these areas and then reclaim it for the bulls to really feel good about pushing some of these stocks up, and for investors to feel a lot more confident. And so I think Boeing is at a point to where, it's got room to move at least all the way down to 120. And if it breaks 120, then, but I just don't know if that's going to happen today. I don't know. I'm not necessarily looking for that. Right now, SPY is going to have to break its pre-market lows here. And so, I'm just going to have to be cautious out the gate, guys. But this is pretty much what I've got. These are my top ones. And then, of course, Tesla is up here because Tesla has had such a massive run-up. I'm very surprised at what I saw this morning, because this right here seems extremely bearish. It got bought up all the way to 741 and closed down almost 40 points. Definitely 30 points, a little better than 30 points down here at 709. Okay, so I'm expecting there to be some kind of profit taken. I was really blown away by this, but again, this is pre-market. This is pre-market, and I think it's very possible for SPY to get a good 30, 40, maybe even 50 point move to the downside today, and maybe more. It just depends on what the SPY ends up doing. So I'm keeping this on watch. And I don't really have a top of the watch list. Yesterday, I had one at the top that I really wanted to focus on, and I didn't end up focusing on it. Today, it's more of like, I really do have about 4, and I'm going to group these two together, CCL and RCL. That we'll just call that a fourth stock. But we got Tesla, Boeing, ZM, and then the cruise lines. That's mainly what I'm watching today. And I think they all have great potential. But I think I'll be more inclined to keep Boeing and Zoom on closer watch. And I'll actually probably move Tesla down below the cruise lines. So pretty much down to Tesla is really my watch list. All this other stuff is just stuff that I'm going to poke in on every now and then. I mean, JP Morgan, I don't know. This is getting to a critical level. I think the break of 90 could be pretty solid. So I think I will set an alert on JP Morgan. I want to know if it tags 90.55. I may want to just set an alert for 90.80, 90.79 actually, JPM. And the reason is because oftentimes it can break through the whole dollar and it'll touch down into the 80s, but it'll pop back. Once you get down into the 70s, you typically have better chances of it actually moving down to the $half mark and then breaking through. So that's why I said I'll set the price at 90.69. Well, excuse me, 79 on the bid. That's when I'll be interested in JP Morgan. So Sagar is talking about APDN. You know, APDN is, you know, I mean, undeniably making some good moves. But you know, it comes back down to this. You know, it's a lower float stock. It's really not. It's really not what I would like, what I would prefer to get in on. But we do know that, I mean, there's going to be a lot of resistance here around the $10 mark. Okay, so if it breaks through $10, first it's got to break through, and it already has in pre-market, but I mean in regular market hours, it's got to not only clear that 200-day moving average, but it's got to break through 895. I thought it had in pre-market. It has not yet in pre-market. It's got to break through 895, and then you got some clearance up to about the $10 mark. Okay, and then after that, I would really seriously consider this, you know, this $12 mark as another place of resistance, anywhere from 12 to 13. There's a lot of points roughly in the 12 to $13 area. I think there's going to be a little bit of trouble for this stock, but who knows? I mean, this could just go on a massive tear. Let's see if shorts can be located. Nope. So plus if you can short, it would be 60% buying power instead of the traditional 25%, or using 25% of your buying power. So I don't know. I mean, it does look good. I mean, I'll give you that. It looks good. But yesterday we had two low float breakouts that completely lost their junk later in the morning, and they went down to nothing, just about. So, you know, we've been in a place where, and I find that you know, I tell people often, the market is like a living, breathing organism. I mean, it changes, and you'll have these several week periods where small cap stocks, you know, low float stocks are just having breakouts and they're seeing great continuation, but then they'll start dying off, and there'll be these breakouts, and then they'll just all in a day lose a ton of their value. And what that does is it, you know, once you have a couple stocks that do that, then you have a lot of traders that get burned by that, and so they're very nervous about it, and they're very watchful, they're very careful about how they approach small caps for the next couple of weeks, and that's why you see these quick die-offs. And so I don't know, I'm almost wondering, is APDN going to be one of those ones that it just spikes and dies off? But the two good things you have going for it is it does look like it's going to clear this 200-day moving average, and if it does, that's going to be a good bit of confirmation. We've got great volume on the day. Shares have almost been rotated because it is a 2.9 million share float. But the other great thing going for you is you could get a confirmed breakout past 895, and I think you'll be good up to 10. And if you break out through 10, I think it'll be good up to 12. And then it might crash and lose its value, but you know, who knows? I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. I mean, this thing, we could wake up tomorrow morning and it's $20, and then we could wake up Friday and it's $50. I mean, I'm not saying that it can't go on a tear like that, but I'm just saying we need to be careful. We need to be careful, especially after those two small cap stocks yesterday completely lost out. But I think I'd be interested in knowing if this breaks out past 895. I would put it on there and maybe jump in for a quick scalping trade at some point. So I'll put it on there, but I'm not going to put it on the watch list. So SPY looks like it's getting a nice little buy up. Okay, Zoom looks like it's having a nice little buy up. Actually don't even want to know about zoom unless it gets close to, let's see, 139.01. And then 130. I think I would consider taking it there. Zoom is becoming less interesting. Got about 40 seconds to the bell, guys. I am now going to move zoom down a little bit more. Set an alert for 139.20. In Boeing right now at 34.54. SPY looks like it's pulling, so it looks like RCL can make a move down. Going to come out half just in case. JP Morgan looks like it's coming down. It's like it's getting a good solid move. Okay, coming out. RCL gonna see what happens here. Okay, SPY's getting bought up now. Looks like we might be in a little bit of chop here out the gates, guys. See what's happening on the 1 minute. Okay, SPY does look like it's going to make a move up. AMD looks like it's making a good, healthy move up. Okay. Zoom not really doing much. Glad I got out of RCL. 3 minutes into the market open. Morning, Yoni B. Good to see you, ma'am. Just looking to see what happens with the market here. See if this can hold below VWAP on the 5. It's pretty much what we're looking for here. Would like to go ahead and get in, but I'm going to wait for a little bit of confirmation if I can. Looks like a close below VWAP. There's a struggle. SPY looks like it wants to pull, but Tesla looks like it might be making a move to the downside. I might be okay to get in to Tesla. I'm going to give it a second here. Okay, we're going to visit Roku real quick. Okay, it looks like it's maybe tapping on some levels up here. Let's see. Yeah, Boeing looks like it wants to make a move down. And it's moving in divergence with the SPY, so that's interesting. Man, what a chop fest. What a chop fest. SPY's pulling up or pushing up. Okay, CCL's coming back, RCL. Glad I got out of those positions. That's why you never hold. Just take the loss. Take the loss if you have to. Man, Zoom is skyrocketing. Tesla's skyrocketing. JP Morgan, Bank of America, they're all doing really well today. So, okay. So that's the story right now. that's the story. So I'm going to just kind of sit on the sidelines, wait for some patterns to form here. SPY is getting a gradual buy up here on the 1 minute. You can see it's a steady buy up, steady buy up. Okay, and we may see that all the way up to these levels here. Okay, so you know, we'll see how this plays out, and maybe there might be some opportunities beyond that point. So, but I'm going to keep it up on the 5 minute. It's making a good little run up. It's making a good little run up. So Boeing is just a chop fest right now. It may pick a direction soon. I hope that it does. Tesla getting a buy up once again. Tesla's just proving everybody absolutely wrong about everything they ever thought a stock could do. So, yeah, morning note again. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, Tesla's on a tear. It's on a tear. And it might be because SPY's on a tear. So we'll see. We'll see. SPY's going to pull back to VWAP. So you're probably going to see a lot of these stocks right now getting a pullback. ZM getting a pullback. It's pretty far extended over VWAP, over moving averages. But it's in the middle of a daily breakout, so I just don't feel comfortable doing anything with that right now. Yeah, everything's getting a pullback now. AMD losing VWAP. But AMD has been a chop fest lately, and I honestly just don't trust it. I suppose the break of 53.97, if SPY continues to come down, that could be a nice little spot to get in on AMD. But AMD is notorious for being a chop fest. I'll go ahead and take it here in anticipation of the break of 97. SPY looks like it's going to break VWAP. So SPY is breaking VWAP. It's kind of holding VWAP actually. There it goes. Now it's breaking VWAP. Sitting on the 20 moving average. It's breaking down through the 20. AMD having a really hard time getting a sell-off even through all that. So just see how far we can get. Okay, SPY is breaking down. There we go. Getting a little bit of a move here. I'm going to throw AMD looks like it could get a move up here now. So let's see. SPY's got to continue to pull. I'm going to throw something on the bid. So I got out a little right there. Okay. Tesla's coming back. Okay. All right, it's making a move down. Okay, I'm just going to put a stop on these 100 shares at 53.90. Limit, stop, buy. So we'll give it a chance to work itself out. Let's check out Boeing. Boeing's still a little choppy. CCL is actually pulling hard enough. RCL is pulling pretty good. ZM is getting that pull back to VWAP. Tesla's getting killed right now. JP Morgan is back on the loose, busting below VWAP. If SPY sees continuation, this could be really good for JP Morgan. Or this could be really bad for them, really good for me. SPY's making its way down to pre-market lows. But we need 15 more seconds for that 5-minute candle to wear out. And then hopefully we'll get a pullback. I don't know if we are, but I'd really like to see a pullback. AMD is just losing its junk right now, so I would look to add at AMD, just depending on where it gets a pullback to. I would look to add at 100 shares, maybe at 53.60. Doesn't look like we're going to get that pullback. Hopefully we do. Sell at 53.60. I'll take another one at 53.71. Come on, let's get a good little pullback here. Let's get a good little pullback. May not give it to me. I'm going to go ahead and take 100 shares there. We got a 53.75 average. Expecting 120 for Boeing. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think that's very possible. Oops, I got 300 at 53.70. I forgot to X that order out, but SPY's continuing to pull, so this should be all right. There's a wall there at 53.60, and it's having a hard time eating through it. SPY is kind of teetering around. I may come out if SPY's got to continue moving down for me to continue to feel good about staying in this trade. But we got 300 at a 53.70 average. SPY's getting a pullback. This comes above 60, I'll get out. Okay, well, didn't really give me the best opportunity to get out, but it's okay. SPY's still looking weak. Really need to see SPY tank from here. Get a sell off. SPY looks like it wants to get a sell off. AMD, let's look at that on the 1-minute chart. Man. Need to see a sell off here. Coming out half. Got 150 at 53.57. And okay, coming out the rest. So chop fest. Yeah, I think Boeing, I mean 120, I think it is going to test 120 also, Yoni B. I don't know when. I don't know if that's going to be today. You know, SPY is getting a significant pullback right now. You can see every other stock is following suit just about. Delta Airlines looks pretty bearish though. Let's see. Delta really does look bearish right now. See how far it can pull up. See if there's any divergence at all here. SPY, all SPY has to do is just fail and then bust through that pre-market low. Okay, there it goes. Should have jumped on that. Should have jumped on that one. Give it a chance to pull back. It's been whippy. It's been whippy. Okay, I think it's possible we can get the move down here. SPY looks like it's going to roll, but 2476. SPY going to roll. Well, it's pushing up now. Come on. Looks like it's losing a little of that roll. And try to stay in here. We go. I'll tell you what, it's a chop fest, guys. I'm gonna come out 100 and just see what happens with that other 100 shares. SPY looks like it's pulling back up now. Seeing a little divergence here. UAL looks like it wants to lose. Come on, there we go. It's a nice move. There we go. So let's look at these other levels here on the 15 minutes. So we've got some, we've got some stuff we got to break through here at the 50 level, and then yeah. So let's just see. So it's kind of moving in divergence with the SPY right now. Broke through that 50 level. See if we can get a quick scalping 300 share add around 2470. Maybe we'll take another 100, 200, we'll say at 68. That's just losing it. It's not going to give me a chance. SPY is rolling. SPY looks like it's really going to roll right now. Okay, so SPY's rolling, but for some reason the airlines are holding up. SPY may be holding its ground. Maybe holding its ground. So there it is. It's continuing to get crushed. UAL continuing to come down. Okay. Never got to add, but that's okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and come out half there. We're going to hold on to 50 shares at 2476, and be interesting. So SPY's getting a quick buy up here. CCL, RCL, Zoom, just VWAP reversal right there. VWAP bounce, what have you. Let's see, AMD continuing to get crushed. So yeah, I think this might be a good one. If SPY loses its shirt, I think this will be a good one to stay in on. SPY looks like it wants to go. Let's go back to DAL, see where we're at. Getting a good solid move on DAL. We'll take off, I don't know, we'll take off 25 at 24. Well, if we get it. Okay, looks like we may get a move down on AMD with the SPY. Let's go ahead and jump in. 400 shares at 64. SPY, oh, maybe not. I thought SPY was going. SPY's holding, guys. Thought SPY was going to go, but it's holding. So we'll see if I can get out half my shares there. Okay, there we go. Just in case. There we go. Now SPY's starting to roll. Just need it to come. Oh, come on. It's holding. It's holding strong. Really is. Really is holding strong. Really need to see it get crushed here. There it is. Oh, little bit. Man, I feel like we can't get any fast moves on any of these. There's a little divergence here too with the AMD. SPY looks like it's getting crushed, but it's holding the line. It's holding the line. I'm going to come out half again. Yeah, SPY's holding the line. But turn around any second, so I don't want to be too hasty and don't want to abandon the entire position that I've built here, or the rest of the 100 shares, I should say. SPY looks like it's wanting to move up. SPY's pushing. It's pushing. So AMD comes back over VWAP, then okay, I'm out. SPY looks like it's cracking up through VWAP. It's the only reason I got back out. Everything looks like it's starting to push up. So I'm going to go ahead and just, well, no, I'll stay in this position. Stay in this position. Tesla, wow, what a chop fest. I mean, nothing is really moving anywhere. It's like the whole market is waiting to see We're just waiting to see what the SPY is going to do. ZM is getting some good continuation though. ZM is, rocking and rolling. Boeing looks like it could be getting a little bit of continuation here, but it's still, Boeing is still just whippy. It's slow moving, I should say. Not whippy, slow moving. It's not as whippy as some of these other stocks are this morning. AMD should, there's no reason why AMD should be doing well, other than the fact that the SPY is pushing up. AMD should be selling off big time. SPY could be getting a VWAP rejection. That would be big. Thinking about getting in here on Tesla. Taking a starter position. Wanting to see confirmation. AMD coming all the way back down. This is where I originally got in on AMD. Squeezed me out. Tempted to give it another shot, guys. AMD looks like it could finally be getting a healthy sell-off. Even despite what's happening with the SPY. Okay, I can give AMD another shot here. Look for it to break these lows, and I will look to add as it comes back and just try to build a position here. See what we can do. Unless SPY breaks VWAP again. Obviously, if SPY breaks VWAP again, I'll probably have to come out. Really need to see follow through on the SPY here, because if the SPY is going to end up getting bought up again, this is what I'm looking at, guys. It's having such a hard time just cracking down through all this. It's kind of forming a base here. Okay, we got 400 at a 53.63 average. Question is are we just going to be in another chop fest? SPY, yep, SPY looks like it's coming up again. So what I might have to do is get out the 400 at, if I can. Actually, no, I think I really feel like I need to continue to build this position. As long as SPY does not crack up through the previous highs, I'm going to stay in this. Tell you what though, guys, I am getting chopped out. That's okay. Okay, I've got 600 at 53.72. Consider coming out a couple hundred of those at 76, just to unload a few. Just in case. This is not going to go in my direction, although SPY's getting a healthy pullback. Okay, SPY is getting a good solid pullback. I might actually remove that order. We need to see it really crank hard to the downside here. Come on, SPY. Bring my average up. SPY's got to pull here. Okay. SPY's getting bought up. Man, it's having a hard time breaking lows. Okay, guys, I got to come out. I've got SPY up on another monitor here, and it's just not going. Been chopped out of AMD twice here, so AMD is not my friend. AMD is just not my friend. Not anymore. We were friends, but not anymore. Look at this. Still didn't break those highs though. Zoom still getting a nice buy up. Pretty far extended though, and it's up to the 150 areas. Pretty critical level right there. I think it's possible that we could get a rejection. Let's see. Just because 150 is such a hard number to break through, but we'll see. Okay, I'm going to jump in there in expectation of a rejection. Comes back up through 149.50, I'll get out. Buy at least 50 shares there, and then the other 50 shares there. Okay. We'll see what happens there. All right, guys, I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back. Trying this one more time. Come on. Come out half. There it is. Finally. Man, it is struggling. CM is still strong. There we go. Finally getting the breakdown. May add to my position. The break of 148. Need to see a really strong breakdown of that. Wow. No way. No way. SPY's losing its lunch. I'm just going to leave that there. ZM is refusing to sell off. Very strong stock. Very strong stock. SPY's finally getting that move to the downside. Here's SPY right now. Looks like it's going to finally crack this line. Hopefully it doesn't bounce. Hopefully it actually does crack it. And then, you know, we're looking for a good critical break of 275.03 on the daily. And looking for Zoom to come down to the 246 levels. Will consider adding to my position at the break of 148.20. We'll say 24. SPY's getting a, looks like it might get a bounce on that critical level. Hopefully if it breaks through, we'll get follow through on ZM. Okay, SPY's getting a breakthrough the pre-market lows. Two-minute finding support on the 9 EMA. If we can break down through that, I think we can make a good leg lower down to the 20, which is matching up relatively around these support levels. And I will move this stop to 149.30. 34. There we go. Okay, so we're in. We've got 150 shares at a 148.61 average. So we really need to see continuation, follow through. I'll let those 150 shares, I'll let 75 go up to 149. Well, no, I'll probably just get out the whole. Let's see. Really looked like we were about to go at 148, so hopefully we continue to crush it there. 147, and I would consider getting out, well, we'll say 50 shares at 147.70. SPY looks like it's trying to make a bounce. Which may be why ZM is finding a little bit of strength here. ZM is strong, that's for sure. It's having a hard time getting that sell off. Trying to be patient with it. 147.57, yeah. So I should probably. Okay. Looking for ZM to lose the 148.08 levels. I think if SPY can continue to show continued weakness, we'll get the move down. 150 is, you know, still a good psychological number that's going to be hard to break. Nonetheless, if it starts going up, I'll remove my position. Okay, SPY's starting to push up slightly. Okay, gonna come out half, unfortunately. Zoom is very strong, guys. You know, typically we've seen this move many times over, and let me just see here. Okay, SPY's starting to lose again. So could be why Zoom is coming back down. But we've seen this move many times before, coming up to the 150 area on several stocks, really. I think even Bowen had a move like this, and I think ZM had a move like this earlier on, where you know, it came up to that 150 level, but just could not break through it, and got an immediate turnaround. But this looks like it's starting to establish a pretty pretty strong case of retest. So unfortunately, I may have to take another loss on this one. Okay, we're getting a pretty strong rejection here. Still could not break those highs. So hopefully this is not turning into a chop fest. I would look to take more of a position. This could be the break here. This could be the break, guys. So let's hope that we finally get this break here. So down through 147. SPY looks like it's losing some critical levels. 148.10. That's where the average is. Let's see a good flush. There we go. Good solid move to the downside. Come on. Really want to try to hold this position. SPY is breaking back down through those critical levels. And it would be really great if we could hold this down to the 146.53 area. SPY is getting a little bit of a pullback off that line, which may be why ZM is as well. I think at this point I feel pretty confident about its ability to sustain a downwards or a move to the downside. I'm surprised buyers up at the top haven't come in and just started dumping shares. But SPY looks like it could be forming a higher low. So want to be mindful of that. I think if SPY can finally lose this level, it has a good chance of dragging the rest of the market with it. Zoom seems to be following suit with the SPY. And SPY's getting that bounce. Yeah. Is Zoom going to follow suit? Big rejection there on SPY. Can zoom, get a follow through. SPY's getting a breakdown. Can zoom, push. Oh, come on. Okay. SPY's looking decent for a breakdown on the 5 minute. Looks like it's bear flagging. Okay, got to come out half there. If this finally does make it up past 150 and break through it, that's going to be pretty significant. So definitely don't want to be in the trade for that. Tell you what, guys, it's been a whippy morning. Just, you can see all of this just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it's not really, like I said, typically when you top out at 150, I've seen this time and time again on many stocks. There's usually at least a good enough pullback. I mean, I'm thinking that at this point when we got a rejection, and then at this point when we got rejected again, I'm thinking, we're going to come back at least to VWAP. We're going to test VWAP. And, so obviously if I had been using more of a scalping strategy, we could have, made a little bit of money on that trade. But I'm really trying to be patient and wait for the longer move. I'm also watching SPY here and making sure that, it looks like it's going to break down through. It already cracked the pre-market lows level on the daily at, and it's sitting right on top of it almost at 175. So came down to, or 275, excuse me, and it came down to 275.64. So we're getting close. We're getting close, but it's, it's really resting there, guys, and we're having a hard time getting any kind of follow through today. So these are usually the days that I do my worst on. Very difficult to read the markets. Still watching SPY. Still watching SPY, but at this point, all it looks like it's going to be doing is making a higher low on that bear flag, which looks like a bear flag, might be a bear trap. Obviously, ZM, I'm kind of caught in a bear trap here with ZM, so. Okay, coming out another half, and let's look at some of these other moves out here. Bowen is making a continuation. So I had marked this out this morning, guys, and And a pretty good idea it was going to do it. I didn't want to get in on it just because Boeing seems to be very whippy, and we can see here out the gates it was kind of whippy. We had some wicks going on there, and even here through these moves. Anybody who had a moving average strategy or even a VWAP strategy probably would have gotten chopped out multiple times there. But it seems like it's starting to have some better follow through. Let me just see if there's any levels that need to be marked out. It's looking pretty good. CCL, RCL, little divergence there. ZM, once again, just SPY's getting another bounce. So Tesla, whippy, choppy, JPM. None of these stocks are really doing. I mean, Boeing is, and I think Yoni B, you were on Boeing, if I'm not mistaken, which probably has turned out to be a pretty good move for you. So good job on that. So let's look at ZM again. Let me just see what I'm going to have to do here. So I suppose if it comes above 149.27, I'll need to get out those other 44 shares. And I'll just do a stop. Buy at we'll say 149.28. Stop buy. We'll give it enough chance to break up through it. So SPY's really wrestling, very choppy. Looks like it's wanting to break these levels. So let's just see. Let me take a look at Roku, by the way. I don't know why that says 10. It's supposed to be 20. Bone seems like the sell volume's dying off just a little, but SPY's breaking back through those lines, guys, and so it's looking like Boeing could make a good strong move to the downside. 23.90. Okay, I think I'll add to my position here. So SPY's pulling hard, guys. Gonna add to my position at 23.90. There we go. There we go. See if we can get some good follow through. SPY finally starting to lose its lunch. Okay, so we've got to break these levels, and the next target will be 23.46. So SPY's getting a little bit of a pullback here, which is fine. ZM still teetering around these levels. I will consider adding again. Okay. AMD kind of still doing its own thing, so not feeling too certain about that. Boeing getting a nice little pullback here. May look to build a position there. So as we can see, SPY kind of lost those levels, but it's still having a hard time breaking through that daily level at 275, which is technically 275.03, but it's trending downwards, guys. So it's keeping me a little bit more confident on some of these trades. So we'll see where it can go from here. I will look for a retest, and as long as SPY does not come up, I will look for continuation to the downside on DAL, and I will look to add to my position. Look for a move down to the 2340s. Okay, I think this might be a decent place to add. See if we can let it come up a little bit more. Well, SPY is all of a sudden getting a really nice buy up back off of that pre-market line. Okay. Okay, I'm going to remove JP Morgan and Bank of America. And ZM is actually, looks like it's going to get that move. I mean, unless it gets a rejection there off of 150, you know, and I've seen this happen before. I've seen, you know, a flat top form and then a false flat top breakout at critical areas like that. So we'll see if it gets a rejection or not. But so far I've suffered pretty hard on AMD. This has just been chop fest, guys. You can see this. I mean, look at these huge candles on the 5 minute, just up and down, all these wicks, up, down, up, down, up, down, and just could not get, I mean, it looked like right here, like we were going to get some good follow through and that we were getting a VWAP rejection. That's why I went short there. But, you know, and then obviously I went short a couple times when it was coming back down to break these areas. I mean, these are all really good patterns for shorting, but it just couldn't get the follow through, guys. And the SPY, as we can see even right now, you know, SPY teetered around this level, formed higher highs or higher lows and higher highs, except for over here, but this was still a higher low, and then it broke bearish, and now all of a sudden it's getting bought up. So this is just we're in a tricky market right now. Today is just, you know, this is just the worst kind of day for me to be trading in, and I just need to go ahead and come out, guys. So let's just see if we can, let's see if these, I'll give one more shot for these airlines to to come through, see follow through. I mean, we do have a critical daily level at 23.83 that we broke. So if we made it anywhere down towards $22 on these 250 shares, we could recoup a lot of what was lost on the day. So I'll give it a shot. But again, if SPY just continues to have a massive buy up, I'm gonna have to come out, and it's gonna be unfortunate. It's gonna be unfortunate, but we'll see. So guys, and while I'm waiting for this trade to work out and just kind of being patient with this stuff, I'm going to go ahead and take care of a few things I've got to do for work. So I'm going to cut the mic off. I'm going to need this monitor, so I'm going to put you guys on the. There we go. Yeah, so you guys will be able to see the chat. Yeah. And we'll see. We'll see what happens with this move here. It's looking promising, but I don't know. It's bear flagging right now, but who knows? Who knows what kind of follow through we're going to get? I mean, we've got a break back down through 23.70, and SPY has to come down, and But anyway, I'm gonna mute the mic. I'm gonna work on some stuff real quick, and then I'll get back to you guys. Okay, see you shortly.